And this was a gamble. No one could know for sure which way exchange rates would move in the future. If, instead of appreciating, the dollar kept falling, the deal would go from bad to horrible. That was why, as a matter of policy, a large dollar-based asset should be evaluated and financed in dollars. To a starry-eyed 20-something, this was a shock. I had expected thorough analysis, careful consideration of multiple options, thoughtful debate, quantification of various scenarios. And here I was, watching a CEO who basically trusted his gut instinct and not much else, knowingly take an unjustifiable risk. Of course, many of my colleagues were more jaded. Their interpretations divided them into two camps. Most just shrugged and explained, albeit in more tactful terms, that the CEO was a raving lunatic. Wait and see, they said, he won't last. The others offered a diametrically opposite explanation. The man was a genius who could formulate strategic visions and perceive opportunities well beyond what we consultants were able to comprehend. His disregard for our myopic, bean-counting analytics was proof of his superior insight. Wait and see, they said. He'll be proven right. I did not find either explanation particularly satisfactory. If he was crazy, why was he the CEO? And if he was a genius, gifted with powers of strategic divination, why did he need to ask us to apply our inferior methods only to ignore our conclusions? The reverse Anna Karenina principle of strategy. The passage of time brought some answers. This CEO was certainly not a madman. Before this deal, and even more so after it, he was regarded in his home country as one of the most respected business leaders of his generation. He was also astoundingly successful. The acquisition turned out to be a great success. Yes, the dollar did rise. Several big bets later, many of them equally risky, he had turned a near-bankrupt provincial company into a global industry leader. See, some of my colleagues might have said, he was a genius after all. If only it were that simple. During the following 25 years, as a consultant to CEOs and senior executives in multinational companies, I had a chance to observe many more strategic decisions like this one. I soon realized that the sharp contrast between the textbook decision-making process and the reality of how choices were made was not a quirk of my first client. It was the norm. But another equally important conclusion struck me too. Although some of these unorthodox decisions had a happy ending, most did not. Errors in strategic decision-making are not exceptional at all. If you doubt it, just ask the people who observe them most closely. In a survey of some 2,000 executives, only 28% said their company generally makes good strategic decisions. The majority, 60%, felt bad decisions were just as frequent as good ones. Indeed, our firm regularly produced voluminous reports warning business leaders against the risks of bad decisions. Along with other consulting firms and an army of academics, we felt compelled to blow the whistle on specific types of strategic decisions that proved especially perilous. But apparently no one listened. Watch out for overpaid acquisitions, we told executives, who immediately proceeded, like my first client, to buy bigger and more expensive companies, quite often destroying shareholder value in the process. Budget your investments carefully, we suggested, as plans are usually far too optimistic. And optimistic they remained. Don't let yourself be pulled into a price war, we wrote. But by the time our clients paid attention to this advice, they were deep in the trenches under heavy fire. Don't let competitors disrupt you with new technologies, we warned, only to watch incumbent upon incumbent go out of business. Learn to cut your losses and stop reinvesting in a failing venture, we advised. And this advice, too, fell on deaf ears. For each of these mistakes, there were, of course, a few specific examples, presented as cautionary tales. These were striking and memorable, even entertaining, for readers given to schadenfreude. You will find more such stories, 35 of them to be precise, in this book. But the individual stories were not the point.